Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-star match game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Super Jamcast. I'm Joel, and I'm joined this time by Damon McDonald.
Hey.
It is Wednesday the 13th of November 2024. This is episode 336. He's pouring one out, the big man. What have you got? Is it a Monster Energy drink?
It is.
That's what it sounds like from the cadence of the can. What
Absolutely.
flavour?
The white can, the whatever the fucking, let me say, the Zero Ultra, I guess. It's probably the most popular between mental patients like myself. Yeah, I buy it by the case. I do. Every weekend we buy a case. And
how many of those bad boys do you drink per day?
It's a great question. It's a great question, Joel. At one point, it was bad. At one point, it was probably in excess of probably 5. Probably 5.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a large amount of that drink to have.
It's, I mean, it does say 0 calories. Let me be very clear. So I am health conscious here. But I can't imagine what chemicals. I can't imagine how my body could probably process like pure poison at this point with all the chemicals that it's been subjected to over the years. Yeah, 5 was, 5. It could on a particular day get to 6, which is not great. But it's.
I just imagining you drinking all that and that meme. I don't know if you've seen it, the one with the skeleton chair. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Right, I'm going to send it to you. So it's like a rocking chair made out of a skeleton, and then it says something like, "Oh, here, when you try to caffeinate yourself and just end up increasing your heart rate with no discernible changes in levels of exhaustion."
That's exactly what it was.
You?
Yes, to a T. Yes, that's exactly what it was, and that's where it was like, and it was like, shockingly, I had trouble sleeping, and shockingly, my anxieties were at fucking 12, and. So I wonder why, dude. So it's cut down considerably. I do have one in the morning because I do kind of like the carbonation of it in the morning. I don't like anything flat in the morning. I do like a little fizz to me. But this is only my second one all day. So, and that's been pretty standard for not a long time, but I would say at least a year. But yeah, it was bad at one point. And actually, I've actually been more conscious of drinking just water. But then I'm a big fucking fancy pants fucking problem because I like the Fiji water. And I don't really like anything. There's something they do with the fucking Fiji water that makes it, we call it in the house, smooth water. And,
I've never tasted it before.
Really? You've never had the Fiji?
No.
It's
what's the gimmick?
Look, it says it is taken from the Fiji Islands, the home of one Jimmy Snuka. there is something. There's a mouth feel, and I hate that fucking term so much. I want to jump out a window right now. But there's a mouth feel difference.
I was just looking at natural artesian water.
Yes, that's right up my alley. I'm a fucking fancy pants. I'm a big fucking poof. Yeah, no, I like that. That's the water I like, and so I had to get that. So I buy, I guess a liter, a big fucking thing of it. But I buy like 5 of them. So like how a normal human being would just drink like a regular bottle of water. I drink these fucking monsters, not Monster Energy, monster size waters.
Okay. So I just Googled, like, there's a subreddit called "Is It Bullshit?" where you can check if things are legit or not. So I just,
yeah,
exactly. So I've searched for Fiji water. Is it bullshit? And I don't know. You've probably not seen this because you're not as terminally online as me. But that the meme of the Dutch politician or something saying, "We hebben een serious problem," which is in. I mean, that is Dutch, but it just sounds like someone talking English in a funny accent.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you a screenshot. So I think this is Dutch because it's funny. And it reads like a drunk person speaking English, but I'm going to send it to you because I can't stop laughing now.
I need this in my life. Here we go. From space, and here we are. I might need my glasses for this one. All right, let me see here. La da dee is objectively better than Uncle America.
So I think that's in Dutch. Is Fiji water objectief beter than andere American mineral water?
You're right, or German or something. Yeah,
I don't know why that's tickled me.
So unless you live in the South Pacific, Fiji water is objectively and it doesn't say anything. I like it. I think there's a definite feeling. It's a definite. I don't know if it's a smoothness or a softness to the water. But yeah, I mean, I do me a favor, try it, and just let me know if I'm losing my mind or not, because I feel like I feel the difference. Now, keep in mind,
good content for the Patreon. Joel drinks water.
Yeah, we'll do a blind tasting. You know how they do like they'll have like a piece of cardboard in front of 4 glasses and somebody on the other side, and they got to pick the one. And a blind tasting, is that what I'm trying to say? And see if I can
every
spot
week I will drink a different brand of mineral water.
Okay.
That will be great. Everyone will enjoy listening to that.
Sign up now, $5.
Episode 37. Yeah, I'm trying this one. Yeah, it tastes like water.
Yeah. But there are that are like, okay, so let's put it this way. If you drink tap water, it's almost different from town to town. And like, it's so weird, like the minerals that are in our drinking water, it's so weird that like bread and pizza and like rolls and stuff have a completely different flavor and texture and profile that's baked here. That's why people like here are so like fucking snobby about their sandwiches and shit. 99% of it is about the roll. And the roll can only be made here because the water content, the mineral content, the whatever content that is allowable by law is in this water that makes it taste different. How about that? So, yeah. But even like Poland Spring and like, what's another bottled water? Desante, is it? Or Desini or whatever the fuck it is. I feel like they taste different. I don't think they taste as clean. Well, boy, what are we talking about here?
Let us know what you think, listeners.
Yeah.
Weigh into the big water debate.
Yes. We'd love to hear. Or don't. Yeah. Or fast forward quickly. Well, listen, it ain't going to get any better because there's really not. Well, actually, there is plenty to talk about, but not like a lot of in-ring, exciting New Japan Pro Wrestling action that you're going to see.
I'm going to throw this at you, Damon. Will writes in to say, so are we getting the Kevin Kelly Wrestle Kingdom preview this year?
You know what? I got to be honest. So I had a dream that we did. We did do it. here's the thing. Like, one, I don't even know if he follows the product at this point, right? Two,
I mean, do we follow the product really?
that's a good point. That's an honest point. I don't know if he would want to be honest with you. I don't know. I haven't spoken with him in the longest time, and I know he's now like the scum of the earth, according to some people. You know, whatever. For whatever.
But look, setting aside my fears of getting cancelled, which, to be fair, get smaller and smaller each year.
Yeah.
I think if he is still following the product, it would be genuinely fascinating to hear him again off the leash, just uncensored, undiluted, what his honest opinions are about the product, and he'd probably go off, wouldn't he? Like I think he would. All the tea, I imagine.
I mean, maybe I don't know. It depends. It depends on if he's kind of looking for work. But I usually
sailed.
I think so too. To be honest with you, and I think good on both. You know, it's like that's But that would. Here's the thing. I think it would be an interesting show. I'm sorry. I really think it would. I think it would be. He would be honest as he always is. I think that he might have a different spin on things of that nature. He might be able to provide us with little stories and tidbits. I mean, the stories and the tidbits that he gave us, free of his own free will on shows while he was under contract. Not with New Japan, mind you, but, he was working for a subsidiary or whatever the fuck.
Which led to us getting in a massive fight with Post Wrestling. So
it really did. You know what? I think we need to start up a little holiday brawl again. Let's get going. All right? Let's get the spirit.
So, call the banners. We are going to war.
We're going to war. I would let's put it this way. I would not be opposed to it. And I think it would be a very interesting show. Very interesting show. But okay, now here's the problem. Not really the problem, but I think we would have to ask the questions that maybe he doesn't want to be asked. But he's the type of guy that wouldn't care. Like, I don't think he would care. Like, if we, asked him questions. The problem is that
what? Well, I don't give a fuck about what his political beliefs are. Like, genuinely, I could not give a shit. Like, all my energy for caring about that stuff died several years ago. I just want to hear him
talk pro wrestling.
Annoyed him in New Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I might be in a minority there. Like, and again, honestly, let me know, listeners, how you would feel. Are you into it, or do you think it would be a terrible idea?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care what the listeners think. I care what we think.
Yeah, I was going to say, not that I respect your opinions, but I just want to know how much trouble I'd be in if I did it.
What trouble? What? I mean, seriously, what trouble? We're talking about Wrestle Kingdom. We do it every fucking year. Like, okay, great. If you don't like his fucking political views, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I got no problem with
anyone's political views. I mean, we've had Henare on the podcast before.
Right. I mean, here's my new rule. I don't care about political stuff anymore. I don't care anymore. He's always our look. You know me, where I'm at when it comes to guests, right, and guest hosts, and not necessarily guest hosts, but just having interviews and stuff. Like, we've never really been a huge fan of it, but every once in a while we'll pop somebody on, and just because,
even though we are amazing at it, I should just say we hate doing it, but we're also extremely good at it.
I really feel so too. I really feel like you're right. Because, and again, it is a headache, and it is something where it's like, you got to make sure this works. And can you hear me? Okay, we're going to do a countdown, and then blah, blah, and then I got 3 files I got to send it. It is a little bit of a pain in the ass. But beyond that, to me, those are some of the best shows we do. The Kevin Kelly shows. They're some of the best shows we do. So I would do it. I would say I'm in yes column. I'm in yes column.
Right, here's another one. Matt says, off topic, would you consider migrating off Twitter to Blue Sky? Asking Super Jake ask questions is the only reason I still have an account, so you'll be doing me a solid. Yeah, I think I will do this, but it's quite funny, really. As soon as, and I'm assuming it's connected to the US election result.
What happened? I don't even know.
We've lost we've lost like 100 followers since that. I think a lot of people have just deactivated Twitter.
All right.
Or maybe one of us is really, or both of us have really annoyed a significant minority of the listenership. But I think it's politics related. But yeah, I will make a Blue Sky account just to cross post stuff. But I mean,
Okay.
I barely tweet much these days, to be honest.
Right. I mean,
yeah, I will do that for you, Matt.
Yeah, let's do it just for Matt. Let's make Maddie's day. Maddie, boobalatti. What is? I don't even. I'll be truthful. I've never heard of fucking Blue Sky. I have no idea what the fuck it is.
I think it's like just the non-fascist Twitter.
Is that what it is? Okay. All right. Well, I don't have either. Well, I do have one, but I don't never use it. But I do pop in just to see how what's up with you. What you tweeting anything funny? And like hockey stuff. That's about it. That's about the extent. I don't post anything. I'm very private. Very private. I don't like letting people know what I'm doing and where I'm at, or nothing. Nothing. You get nothing. I was invited out today. There's a mutual friend of ours, not us mutual, but with my friends, who has come back from, where the fuck is she? Italy? Yeah, she's living in Italy now, and she's back home. And I was like, I ain't going out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, whatever. I don't care. What do I care? You're back. Great.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about your fucking holiday.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't give a shit.
Go on it.
I mean, you know what I mean? I don't care that you live there. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't. And I hate to be that. I just don't. I don't care. I couldn't be bothered to put on pants. I could not be bothered. And I knew I had obligations here. So I consider you my out. You have no idea how many fucking podcasts I do a week, Joel.
I would love to come, but we've got to preview World Tag League.
Right,
the people are demanding it.
Right. Got to record tonight.
They need to know what we think about the team of Tomoaki Honma and Shota Umino and whether or not they can bring home the gold.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, I can't make it. I have an obligation to all of our listeners and the fans of the New Japan product. I know we'll get into World Tag League, but do we know?
It's not the run sheet. I'm not talking about World Tag League. Fuck that.
I know okay. I'm fine with it. I'm fine if we completely ignore it. Like, we just do shows and don't even talk about World Tag League.
It's non-canon. It's a non-canon event.
It really is. It feels like it. It's wow for a show that's not talking about it. We are talking about it. Do we have any plans? Can we spill the beans on the plans for this show in the month of December?
I've had, I think, one solid offer of someone who wants to do a podcast during World Tag League. But a few people on Discord say that they're interested. I don't know if they're just mucking around or if they're actually serious, but we'll ascertain that at some point. But I have my reservations about it because no one wants to watch World Tag League, let alone watch it and then talk about it. And certainly no one wants to listen to people who don't want to watch World Tag League talk about World Tag League. It just sounds like a terrible proposition all round. But again, if you are genuinely passionate and you think you could make it entertaining, then yeah, get in touch. And
you have good audio.
I mean, yeah, well,
you don't sound like you're fucking talking to... Yeah, right. Well, true. I mean, you don't have to have, broadcast quality, but, just, it can't sound like you're talking in a fucking tin can. I mean, what are our options?
It's not, I don't think it's a tour designed to be watched to completion. And I've said that about other tours, but if there's ever a tour that is not designed to be watched to completion, it's this one. Like, just watch the Korakuen show. I think there's just one, actually. Just watch that. You'll be fine. So, really? Terrible for just telling people not to watch this product. But when the blocks were announced, I was just like, fuck me. They are really, we're really going back to like the 2016 Leland race. Was it Brian Breaker energy of World Tag League? And I like it as a nostalgic throwback, but it's also not something I want to watch.
I saw that lineup and I was like, I was giggling because every joke that we were making about Chase Owens and Kenta, and there's no way they would do that.
It was worse. It was much worse.
Yep, I agree. I was just like, oh my goodness.
They're one of the more credible teams in that roster.
Right.
They're former champions, Damon. They were tag team champions this year.
Yeah, they sure were.
Favorites. They could walk horses for this competition.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the mixed. I can't believe we're talking World Tag League, but here we are. If we're going to do it, now's the time to do it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, night 5 is going to I just can't imagine a night 5 or a night 6 of this and just being like, oh my fucking God, why my life is just fucking wasting away watching Jado and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Why would Hiroshi Tanahashi?
I had a question specifically. Yeah. Bernie Hammer says, what is your take on the Tanahashi Jado versus Taichi Taka main event during Tag League? Who will win? I
swear to God, I am praying for. One, I am not watching it. I don't care. In 2024, we're talking about that as an actual. Is that an actual main event?
I don't know if it's the main event.
Okay. Still, it's a match.
I would check, but I can't be bothered. I don't think I should dignify World Tag League with going to the effort of opening the website and looking at
burning the 0.1 calorie of typing. It's horrible. Like some of these teams, that's one of them, Tanahashi and Jado, of all fucking teams. Why does Hiroshi Tanahashi pick the shittiest fucking partners in World Tag League? He does it all the time. He's just a glutton for punishment. It stinks.
Well, he doesn't want to do double duty at Wrestle Kingdom. He knows he's got the match with Evil, and he's got no intention of winning World Tag League, so he's deliberately chosen a shit partner. So
but that's half the teams. No chance of winning. Half the teams have shit going on. You know what I mean? You know, Zach's. Why is Zach in the fucking tournament?
Well, I mean, the two angles come at this. One, they want to sell more tickets. Two, I don't think they've officially said that the winners are going to have a match at Wrestle Kingdom. So I suppose there is a chance we can kind of delude ourselves into thinking, oh, maybe they'll have the challenge at, I don't know, New Year Dash or something rather than Wrestle Kingdom. But I don't know. That seems like a stretch to me. I'm very happily just writing off all the teams that have guys that are already doing something at Wrestle Kingdom.
How many can we take a quick look at the lineup? Can we just go through?
God.
I'm sorry.
You asked too much.
I know.
I've got them written down. So, right, A block. We got Oiwa and Zach.
And Zach's obviously got something to do.
Yeah, and so is Oiwa. You know, he's in the TV title mix. But,
right.
I mean, it's a cool team. At least they are good wrestlers and they'll have good matches. So
I'll give you that.
At least I will enjoy watching them when they're on the screen. Callum Newman, Jeff Cobb. Again, Jeff Cobb is in that TV title mix, so they're not going to do anything. But again, I like the team on paper, and I'm sure Jeff Cobb will make an effort to make Callum Newman look good, and they might do some cool team moves and stuff. We've got Tomoaki Honma and Shota Umino. Remember we said that him tagging with Honma was like a punishment. It's like that Simpsons episode, the Stonecutters, where Homer's attached to the Stone of Shame. Honma is the Stone of Shame that Shota's been attached to. Just a bizarre choice. Right. I know Honma's got still got a weird charisma and connection to the crowd. And again, I've said I do like the way he spins his little narratives in each tour, and he's actually delivered this time because he's made his way into World Tag League. But for a guy you want to be building serious heat and credibility as your challenger for the Wrestle Kingdom main event, to team him up with fucking Honma, that is a bizarre choice, isn't it?
Oh my goodness! I mean, just mind blowing. I'm going to set the over/under number at 1. Does Shota do? How many jobs is Shota doing? How many times is he looking at the lights? 1?
Oh, it's got to be 0. He can't take any pins. That will be absurd if he takes any pins whatsoever. I mean, at the very least, I can sort of look forward to them two facing the Oiwa Zach team, and they should do like a double count-out brawl or something. Let's really build some serious heat for that Zach and Shota match, which we'll talk about later. But there's that. There's Tsuji and Shingo. Very cool team on paper. I'm sure they'll have really good matches, but I don't think there's any chance they're winning because Tsuji is in the the global title match, and Shingo has a never title match. So that's not happening. But still, cool team, so I'll allow it. Then we've got Bishamon, always going to be in the mix. I don't think they're going to win again because this will be like, 4 in a row? I think, have they won the last 3 World Tag Leagues? I don't know. I'm not looking it up, but it would seem excessive. And I like them. It would seem excessive for them to win again. But still, good team, cool team. I like both guys. Happy with them. We got Sanada and Gabe Kidd. And this is a really interesting one. They're actually my favourites. My logic being that would get us to a Wrestle Kingdom match with Henare and Okan defending the tag titles against Sanada and Gabe Kidd. Now, Sanada and Great Okan have actually got quite good chemistry, I feel. And then we'd also get some Gabe Kidd and Henare interactions at the Tokyo Dome, which I think would be good because they do something nutty. And again, I think it'll be a good... There seems like the mission statement of this Wrestle Kingdom is to showcase the younger guys, the new generation. And I feel that giving Okan and Henare and Gabe Kidd that platform in a heavyweight tag title match would be appropriate. So I like that. And also, it's a big stroke of good fortune, I think, because we've known about the Sanada turn since August. And that was before Jake Lee got injured. So it's not like Jake Lee got hurt and they were like, oh, fuck, quick, let's turn Sanada so he can take Jake Lee's place. Right? That Sanada turn has been planned for a long time.
Yep.
And I don't know if they've sort of accelerated it or delayed it. It's so that he can fill in this gap in time for World Tag League. But either way, it seems like a good stroke of luck that they've got him to take the place of Jake Lee for the Mad Bastards team, or I don't know what they're going to be called now, the Cold Skulls. No, the Mad Skulls. Mad Skulls, that would be cool. No, boring, good. He's dyed his hair. He's blonde now. He looks like Yujiro. So yeah, Sanada, Gabe Kidd, like the team, and I'm penciling them in as favourites. Are you with me on that?
I mean, that sounds as good as any fucking plan or idea. That's for sure. I like the idea of Gabe and Henare. It's already built. There's already shit built in from earlier this year, which is pretty amazing to say. And you know, now we're fucking here. Gabe's got a good chance to be make a real big name for himself that weekend. That's a big fucking week. Like if they tear down the house in that tag match, again, they got to win tag league. You know, we get it. But if we get there, you know, Henare and Gabe.
They could just say that they won tag league. No one's actually going to check. Right. They could just sort of simulate it and be like, yeah, Gabe and Sanada, they won. These were the results at the end.
Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Right. Him and Pat Patterson won the Intercontinental title. they both won a tournament. Excuse me. And then he's got Kenny. Well, I mean, it's nothing on paper yet, is there? And like nothing's official as of yet. But
yeah, that's right.
Like, isn't the scuttlebutt with Kenny the next night? So he's got a chance to really solidify himself that weekend. That's a big weekend for Gabe Kidd. If all those things come to pass. So, you know, you're rattling off these teams. There's, you know, a couple stinkers, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, so far the teams aren't bad. But okay, go on. We have a point to prove.
We've got Alex Zane and X. Don't know who that is. Apparently it's not Lance Archer. I don't know who it could be. Not that interested, to be honest. And Chase Owens and Kenta. And that completes A block. So I'd say Bishamon and Sanada and Kidd would be the two most likely to come out of A block.
I'm in full agreement. Full agreement.
B block. Well, let's start with the interesting ones. Hiromu and Naito. So, a couple of questions on this. Grungle says, could we see Naito entering his tag team era, thinking about how AEW has Sting in tag matches to cover up his weaknesses? I think that's an extremely ungenerous comparison to compare late-stage Sting with Tetsuya Naito. I mean, I know Naito is slowing down, but come on. That's not really, that's not correct to say that. And Burning Hammer says, will Hiromu and Naito build a story during Tag League for a possible Wrestle Kingdom match? Now, I can't rule it out that they actually just go and win the whole thing and have the tag title match at Wrestle Kingdom, because Hiromu has recent history with Hinare, and Naito has recent history with Great Khan. So there is a bit of groundwork in there. So I can't rule that out. Can't hand wave that. I don't think they will, just because. I mean, I'm with you, Birmingham. I think this has got to set up the Wrestle Kingdom match, and I suppose classic booking would be like they have a blow up. There's some sort of conflict towards the back end of the tournament. One of them fucks up, and they lose the match, and then comes to blows. But that doesn't really seem like LIJ style. I feel it would be more like they go out of the tournament with a bit of a whimper, and then backstage they just say, "Oh, let's have a singles match at Wrestle Kingdom." And the other guy says, "Okay, let's do that." And that's what will happen. So I think that's probably the most likely outcome. And I just feel that they've hinted at it too heavily for them not to deliver it. And I think putting it off any longer would be a huge mistake, given how rapidly Naito's declined this year. Because I think they've missed the boat on it being a great match. Like, if they managed to do it in 2020 before the world went to shit, like, that would have had potential to be an excellent pro wrestling match, notwithstanding, the emotional investment of it all. But now, 4 years down the line, I don't think. I mean, Hiromu's had a really, really good year, don't get me wrong, and Naito can still go with the right opponent, with the right conditions, but putting it off for another year would be, no.
Yeah.
No.
You're right, though. I mean, it could have been, and the world changed for everyone, let alone the idea of a nice little dream match. I don't know. I would. You look. I think you're right in the sense that it would be just you think you're so hot? Let's have a match. All right, we'll have a match. All right, fucking drink kilo and go fuck your mother. Yeah, it's not going to be like even their blood feuds start out like kind of not really blood feudy-ish. It's usually like
they're going to get so upset about not winning World Tag League. You've cost me my chance to win World Tag League, you piece of shit.
Right. I had a space at my trophy case just for that. By the way, also, worst trophy in all of pro wrestling, right? Worst championship.
You've humiliated me in front of the good people of the Yume Messi Miyagi Main Exhibition Hall C.
Yeah. And I think there's more money in a singles match. Like, to me, that would be more of a a sexy piece to a Wrestle Kingdom show for sure than them in a tag. So to answer the question, I do think if they were smart, they would, right? Because I think all roads are leading to that eventually in some capacity. I don't think it's going to be blood feud-ish, but you're right. It's probably going to be, we fucking shit the bed at World Tag League. You want to wrestle? All right, we'll wrestle. And then away we go.
I think they should go proper, like, old school WWF blood feud. Like, Hiromu tries to kiss Naito's wife. Naito runs over Hiromu's car in a monster truck. Like, let's really lean into it. Let's do it the right way, guys.
He has a big snake. It bites at the arm.
Right, B block. We also have Jado and Tanahashi. Now, obviously, Jado is a replacement for El Fantasmo, and they're in the same faction. That is not a faction anymore. But they could have done better. They could have thrown one of the young lions in there, for God's sake. Like, it seems that a lot of the other wrestlers are tied up doing stuff, but yeah, that's a shit team. We've got Ren and Evil, so they both got matches at Wrestle Kingdom. They'll be a threat. They'll probably spoil some people, but I don't think they're making it to the finals. Right. We've got the champions, Hinare, Great Khan. New Japan tend not to put the champions through to the final, so I don't think they're going to be making it out. Then we've got Taka and Taichi. Come on. I love the guys, but they're not doing anything either.
What a Taichi do.
Got the Natural Classics, Stevie and Tommy Phillip. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. From Australia. Yeah, not sure about all these Australian teams. I was not convinced by the velocities, and yeah, so I'm very skeptical towards Natural Classics. But
the positive is it's not Fale. It's not Fale.
True. That's what,
true. You know what I mean?
But where's my man, Caveman Ugg? I can't believe they didn't bring him back. But
I know.
Well, be fair, at least it's some fresh faces. They're giving people a chance, and look, they will need to expand their talent pool given everything that's happening with US wrestling. So, at least they're giving some new people a chance and trying something new. So I can't really fault them for that. We've got Oleg Boltin and Yano teaming up. Now, they don't have anything at Wrestle Kingdom. They're also 2/3 of the Never Six-Man champions, aren't they? So
they'll have something.
But no, I don't think they can do anything. And then TMDK, Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. So, yeah, a little bit harder to call that one. I suppose the chalk pick would be TMDK going through because they've just lost all their tag titles. So I suppose you got a built-in hook for the redemption story there. But I would quite like to see a final of Sanada and Kidd from A Block against Hiromu and Naito from B Block.
I mean, couldn't we, if we got creative and we had a match between those two teams, that seems like a real nice sweet spot of if there was going to be any tension between Naito and Hiromu, like that would be a nice spot. Save it for that last match where maybe they, have a little miscommunication or a little whatever. And, and again, I'm not saying blood feud. I'm saying, maybe tensions, whatever. That would be a nice spot for it. Yeah, TMDK will be in the mix. I can't imagine anybody. I mean, as you mentioned, Evil and Ren playing spoiler, of course. I think that's always a possibility. I don't think there's anybody else where I'm like, no, there really isn't. There isn't anybody else that I am out of like that stands out. So, yeah, I think
it's good, like Bishamon against the MDK final. But let's move on. Let's try something else. I like both teams, but they've had a chance. Let's try something different. And I think what will be instructive here, Damon, is to look at the tour. There are two shows here that I think would be worth checking out. The Korakuen show is usually quite instructive in as much as that will be the show where they platform their key storylines and their key team. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the Korakuen shows for Super Junior Tag League, the main event was a win for the Ichiban Sweet Boys. So that was your cue to be like, look, pay attention to this team because this is a significant team in the tournament. So if we look at the Korakuen Hall main event, we have got Tsuji and Shingo against Sanada and Gabe Kidd.
Ooh.
So that's potentially, I'm looking at that as being Sanada and Gabe Kidd getting a win, and that's New Japan's way of saying, hey, this Sanada Gabe Kidd team are serious. This is a serious team. This is a big boy team. Watch them.
Yeah, those Korakuen shows are usually the tells. Yeah, good point. Yep.
And also they've got an Osaka show in Edion Arena 2, and for that one, main event is TMDK against Hinari and Great Khan. So a rematch of the match, the tag title match at Power Struggle. So to me, that would be TMDK getting their win back, wouldn't it? But and we'll also see some Mikey and Hinari silliness. They'll probably try and cave each other's heads in, as they like to do. And those would be. But again, I see that more as a nice moment for TMDK. That's going to be, hey, look, they got their feel-good moment. They got their win back against the champs. And that's it, really.
Right. Are you surprised by the lack of outside teams from other major promotions?
Yeah. No, I really am. No AEW team, and it's not like I was clamouring for it, but we had last year, we had the Gates of Agony, didn't we? No CMLL team.
Right. Yeah.
Could have had a Rev Pro team in there.
Could have had a Rev Pro team. You could have had a Ring of Honor team, possibly. I mean, Ring of Honor / AEW. No Noah representation. No Noah. Noah. Yeah, I was a little surprised by that. Like, that's like, this is such a, and again, I understand that like this used to be, or at least it felt like it was an important deal. But I think everyone would agree that on the calendar, while you may get some enjoyment out of it, and it is a thing that they do every year, I think people's interest is, let's just cross the fucking finish line and get to Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, it's I was kind of surprised by it. The fact that there was no outside representation. I mean, again, when I say outside representation, I mean from major promotions. So I don't know, a little disappointed on that one. Give me a scale of 1 to 10. What do you think of just on paper? And again, I know that we talked about it, but you did rattle off some pretty decent teams. Did it change your number? Give me a scale of 1 to 10.
I'll give it a 4. I think
exactly the number. Very good.
I will watch the Korakuen show. I'll watch the Osaka show, and then. I mean, I was going to say I will open up the schedule and sort of pick out matches that I think look sexy. But even then, it can look good on paper. But at the end of the day, if they're wrestling in, fucking Kochi Prefectural Gymnasium, they're not going to be putting in 100%, nor would I expect them to. So I think it might just be a case of if any matches get some buzz, people be like, oh, you've got to watch, I don't know, Hiromu Naito versus Ren and Evil from the Karatsu City Cultural Gymnasium. Then I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll check it out. But I would say for normal-brained people, Korakuen and Osaka, and you'll be fine.
How about we do this? We text Kevin Kelly, and we say, you do every... you got to watch every World Tag League, and then you can have the show for 4 weeks, and we'll pay you $15. What do you say? What do you say?
And he gets to plug any political movement.
Right, any movement or any or whatever. I kind of do remember, and I don't even know the full story, to be honest with you. But yeah, I was just trying to remember, like, what did people have a problem with him before? And I was like, oh yeah, that thing with a like or whatever.
Who fucking cares, honestly?
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, I don't even like if I don't know Kevin Kelly like he's like my best friend.
Problems in the world,
right? He's just like he's so like that's just not his thing. I don't know. Like, it's just weird. Like he doesn't even know that people would think that you know what I mean? Like, he's just so blind to that kind of stuff. He's just like, what the fuck? Why is everybody fucking down on me? I wonder how he's making out with that lawsuit. Wasn't he suing AEW?
Yeah, he was.
I wonder how he's making out with that. Listen, maybe we become buddies. He wins a big lawsuit. Give me some money, Kevin.
Ownership of AEW transferred to Kevin Kelly in the settlement.
Yeah.
He's looking for some people to get on board, help him with, I don't know, whatever we can help with.
What do we do?
We'll be like, I know a couple of guys for this job.
Oh, not us. I gotta be honest with you. I'd be like, I don't know, Kev. Yeah.
Social media manager, Joel, that's yours.
Yeah. Oh, God. I would...
Cracking my knuckles, ready to fire out some tweets to enchant and thrill the AEW fan base.
Yeah. Get ready every Thursday night. You behind the wheel of the social media machine. Yeah, I don't think I would be interested. Well, again, if the check were big enough, but I do just about anything. But I don't know. I don't think I'd be. All right. So there you go. World Tag League in a nutshell.
Two more questions. World Tag League. Baldy says, I can see Honma taking a Death Rider at the end of the Tag League tournament. What are your feelings about Shota Honma team in Tag League as far as Shota's booking goes in January 4th? Well, we have talked about this already, but I think that would be a good way of wrapping a bow on it. So at the end of World Tag League, last match, Shota's just like, fuck this, I've had enough. Bang, Death Rider on his partner, and he walks off. I think that would be extremely cool. I love the idea. So that's the only way this is salvageable for me. I can't see what the best case scenario is for this Shota Honma tag team otherwise.
He's got to look dominant. Like, he's got to pick up all the wins. He's got to
pin Zach.
I mean, he could. Right? I mean, if you're trying to build him up and have people take him seriously, I feel like...
No, actually, if he pins Zach, then he's definitely not winning at Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, yes, correct. But you're still, trying to make him feel as credible as possible. And what easier way to do than do that? But yeah, they got work to do for that match, man. They really do. They have a lot of fucking work to do. It's a bad spot. I just feel sorry for Zach. Like he's good.
Right, hold on to that. We'll come to that when we talk about Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Right, last World Tag League one. Bray says, I know Damon is a huge fan of territory wrestling, as am I. What tag teams would he take from the territory days and put into this year's tag league field?
Oh God. I mean, here's the thing. I wouldn't do your normal Rock and Roll Express. I would not do like I'm trying to think of ones that would legitimately feel like they could fit in. I would go Heart Foundation, just because both of them worked New Japan for separately for various time frames. I was always a big fan of the Fantastics. I don't know how their that babyface style would get over. Who else? See, I like I like tag teams like Johnny Tatum and Eddie Goldberg, and I don't think that would work. Let's see here. What would I want? Who would I really want? Heart Foundation would be good, but again, if we're counting WWF as territories, I don't think that's fair. I mean, Tully and Arn would be great back in the day. Roadies, of course. I'm trying to think of like maybe a little bit more obscure-y ones. You know who I think would be really good? And I don't know if you're familiar with their... Oh, I got one. I got my favorite. Adrian Adonis and Dick Murdoch. I mean, both worked New Japan back in the day. Both were awesome back in the day. Both were a solid tag team together back in the day. That would probably be my number one pick. Adrian Adonis, Dick Murdoch. They're one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Yes, that would be my answer. And, I'm sorry. I would also say Steiner's probably would be in that list. Doc and Gordy, but that would be impossible because they worked All Japan at the time. All right, let's just leave it at Adonis and Murdoch. That would be chef's kiss.
We got a cheeky little question on Twitter from one Robbie Eagles.
Really?
Says, why the War Dogs pussy ass bitches?
Language. That's a good question, Robbie. Hey, thanks for checking in, Robbie. Did he really respond to your question, or your shout for questions?
Yeah, usually the questions he leaves are shit, and I don't read them. But this is a good one.
That's not fair. Why are they pussy ass what?
Pussy ass bitches. Because you got them shook, Robbie. You and your boy Huge Fuge put in such a brilliant performance in the tag league final that they're rattled. They're scared. They
are scared, and they know where it's at. You're holding a fucking trophy, dude. You're the best junior tag team, no doubt. You don't need fucking tag titles for that. You went through the best. You got the trophy to prove it. That's funny that he did that. But yes, that is why. And also, they're pussy ass bitches. All right, very good.
Unless either of them are listening, in which case you're not pussy ass bitches, and I apologise profusely for insulting you.
Right.
Okay, let's talk Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Let's get straight into the matches. First match was the Strong Survivor match. Matt Vandergriff with yet another win, this time over Seabass Finn, 5 minutes 31 seconds following Bloody Sunday. Oh, Damon, the Shindy vibes absolutely off the chart here. Seabass Finn looked like the preliminary warning character in the opening half hour of an inbred redneck cannibal film.
Wow.
He'd be the guy running the local gas station who tries to give an oblique warning to the gang of teenagers on their road trip.
Watch out here, foggy night.
Don't go messing around in any old houses. Right. Yet somehow he doesn't look as bad as Matt Vandergriff, who looks like absolute shit. He looks like Chase Owens gave himself a second shot of the substance. Why is man wrestling in black yoga pads? And the promo did after this, like baby's first heel gimmick, and then a guy came out to challenge. Nobody had any idea who he was. Not even the commentary team knew who he was. And it turns out it was someone called, and I'm doing big exaggerated quotation marks here, Zane J, who allegedly previously lost to Vandergriff. And sure, I'll take your word for it. Like, you could have dragged someone in off the street and said, This is Eugene Fraxby, who lost to Matt Vandergriff 7 months ago at Strong Style Evolved and now wants a rematch. Damon, I'm pretty sure this Strong Survivor gimmick is either a psyop or a Ponzi scheme that I will not be drawn into acknowledging at face value. I regard the Strong Survivor gimmick as it's on the same level as I might regard like a turd left in the toilet bowl. Like,
wow.
I understand people need to have a poo. I have no objection to the act of pooing taking place, but at the same time, I've got no desire to see it and look at it with my eyes. Just do your poo and flush it away in private. Don't show the poo on public to lots of people, because just looking at it at this disgusts me.
Well, speak for yourself, right?
Now, having said all that, there is one person who wants to see Matt Vandergriff, and that's my son, Arthur, who saw him on the screen, saw the tattoo of the clock on his chest and said, Daddy, I want to see the clock. Look, it's a clock. So he's got that going for him, if nothing else is right.
Got one fan. That's all you need, right? One fan. Just like this show. Yeah, look. It's every time I get reminded of this thing being a real thing, it does remind me of indie pro wrestling. And we'll put you on the show. We'll put you in a battle royal if you can sell 10 tickets. You know? So I wonder how many people are brought to the arena by any one of these two fine gentlemen. 10 ticket minimum, and you're on the show. It's a weird spot. I think I might intentionally lose every time, but it's a thing. Once again, I'll say it. These shows just don't feel like New Japan shows. They don't feel. It feels like it's a completely separate company, and it's weird to review because a lot of the stuff is just. I just have an okay. Like, oh, it was 7 months ago. You guys have the okay, you know. So I'm not like, it's weird because you will watch it, but it's like nothing kind of gets absorbed. It's like you're not proactively watching it. You're just kind of staring at it. It was. You did notice the yoga pants too. I'm glad you mentioned that. It was. Look, here's the thing. I know people get excited, and understandably, if you're an independent pro wrestler and you're trying to make a name for yourself, and you get the phone call that, hey, we'll bring you into New Japan Strong. You're going to open the match. You're going to wrestle, blah blah blah, and. There's a part of me that feels good for them in the sense that they're excited, and I'm sure they probably said, hey, I got this shot and blah, blah. And they're, they want to make the most of it. Maybe if they, catch the eye of a fucking, whomever, fucking Naito or Tanahashi or whomever, maybe they can parlay that into some type of real significant working gig. I get it. And I'm not here to shit on people's dreams. Trust me, I'm not. But this, I don't want to go so far as to say this had no place to be on a New Japan Pro Wrestling show, but it had no place to be on a New Japan Pro Wrestling show. Sorry.
Do your poos in private, guys.
Private poos.
It's okay to do them. Don't do it in public.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm moving on.
Please.
First match was David Finlay defeating Kevin Naito. 9 minutes, 29 seconds. Overkill. So this is a foregone conclusion, right? You might expect a top heavyweight heel faction leader holding a major singles title to put away the junior tag guy in short order. But Finlay is a very wise, very generous worker and gave Kevin Knight a lot here. And I think we will see this match again in the future with much higher stakes. And it seems the company are starting to make better use of Kevin Knight. So More of this, please. Let's get the reps in, help him become the future heavyweight single star that I believe he can be. And for Finlay's part, to me, that man's a future Tokyo Dome main eventer. I'm already penciling him in for the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 2026. The narrative's gradually starting to turn. I've seen Big Dave. He's praising Finlay as a modern-day Tully Blanchard, which has made all the right people upset. He set an open challenge, Finlay, not Dave Meltzer, for January 5th. And whilst narratively, I think Jay White, that's the match everyone wants to see, I actually think Juice Robinson would be a really cool opponent. And they've got really good chemistry. They had an excellent match a couple of years ago in the G1. So I say, let's have Finlay beat Juice at Wrestle Kingdom, not Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty. And then maybe we could build to Finlay versus Jay White in London. Forbidden Door. How about that?
It is Ryan Seacrest here. People always say it's good to unwind, but that's easier said than done. The exception, Chumba Casino. They actually make it easier done than said, or at least the same. Chumba Casino is an online social casino with hundreds of casino-style games like slots and blackjack. Play for fun. Play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sign up now and collect your free welcome bonus at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
I don't have a problem with that at all. Has anything been made official when it comes to Wrestle Dynasty for Finlay?
No, he just set an open challenge.
Okay. I mean, what would be the and trust me, I'm saying this out of pure ignorance of the AEW product. I don't know. What is Jay White's status now?
I think he's in the middle of a push.
Okay.
I believe last time I was paying attention, he was kind of in an extended singles feud with Hangman Page.
Well, that's important.
Essentially, I don't think he's in a position to be eating a pinfall at the moment. And I don't think it would hurt him, actually. But, I doubt he's going to be going over and staring at the lights.
Okay. All right. I like what you outlined. To me, it wouldn't hurt to see it now. But, if we have to wait, that wouldn't be a terrible thing. I don't know if I'm super excited for the return of the triumphant Tokyo Dome return of Juice Robinson. But they do have chemistry. They do have chemistry. It probably would be pretty good.
And history, a lot of history.
Yeah.
They've got world tag leagues and tag championships under their belt as the Finjuice team.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. I know people might scoff at it. I think it has that would have the potential of being pretty good, but. Yeah, we'll see. David Finlay. I like the fact that people are coming around to this. I really do. About fucking time, not for nothing, but I really like the fact. Tully Blanchard comparison. I don't know if I'm going that far. Like prime Tully Blanchard is really some pretty fucking great stuff. I don't know if I'm going that far, but. That's an interesting comparison, actually. It's an interesting comparison. I'm telling you, he's going to get votes for Wrestler of the Year. He better get votes for Wrestler of the Year.
Second match was the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship with champion Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols defeated by the challengers of the Grizzled Young Veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson. 9 minutes, 56 seconds. Grit your teeth. I have to hold my hands up and say I'm often guilty of overhyping the ex-WWE guys because I've seen their best matches and I'm an optimist. I hope that they can perform at that level. And Grizzled Young Veterans had some brilliant matches in NXT. They are capable of it. But this match just highlights what this post-WWE run has been. Just an absolute nothing burger. This was so disappointing. It wasn't bad. It was starting to get mildly interesting, and then it was over. And I don't know if it's like if Grizzled Young Veterans cannot or will not perform at that level, or if they just weren't given enough time here. But this is the sort of match I'd expect in the middle of World Tag League Night 7 from Yume Messe Miyagi Main Exhibition Hall C. Just a big old bag of nothing. It was such a load of nothing. I actually got angry. I was actually offended that this was just such a nothing match.
I'm always puzzled, unless it's like, seconds, like your music hits and they're like, by the way, we're shaving your match from 10 minutes to 4. I don't know why I sounded like I needed to be over a radio scanner when I did that, but okay. Like you're pros. You can work an interesting 5-minute match. You mean to tell me you've never had a 5-minute match before, guys? Like you mean to tell me you never had an 8-minute match before? Like I find it's like it's always better to have the time to tell a story. Do we really need a story here? Like, do we really need the idea of match psychology and like just fucking go? You have 5 minutes. Go. Just fucking go crazy. I don't know. It did feel like they were just kind of like, listen, I got a wedding. Don't touch my face. Yeah, I gotta go. I got a sales call on Monday that I need to look good on. So please don't fucking hit me too hard. I can't take any bumps. It was weird. I don't know. It was very mid, as the kids would say. And not that I went into it with massive high hopes, Joel. I mean, you're higher on them than I am. But I don't know. Like, I find it hard to believe that we can't work a short time match and make it 1,000 times more interesting than what we got. And it might be, it might just be, let's get the fuck in, let's get the fuck out, let's get our money and get the hell out of here and get out in one piece. It could very well have been that. But I mean, good for them that they did that. Bad for us that we had to sit through and watch it.
Indeed. Third match then was Lio Rush defeating Mustafa Ali. 10 minutes, 8 seconds, final hour.
Go ahead. Say I'm going to say it. Why the fuck is he there? What are we doing with Mustafa Ali?
I was going to say, why can't guys just be sick wrestlers without having to all be the black light shone on the shadows of the human condition? Like, what is the genesis of all this nonsense? Like, is it Keiji Muto? Is it him, or is it guys watching a copy of a copy of a copy, like watching The Fiend, who is copying the Demon Finn Balor, who's copied someone else who's copied this? Like, I don't know if we're getting fucking Ricky Knight Jr. sitting down to watch his great Muta tapes before he paints his body up. But I'm sick of it, Damon. It's just, to me, belies a lack of confidence in your own skill and ability as a wrestler, that you don't think you can capture the interests of the fans by just having good wrestling matches. That there's all this fucking gimmicky nonsense. Him and TJP doing the Aswang stuff, like, what are we doing? Guys, come on, just fucking get in there and wrestle. You're a wrestler. Do your fucking job. Stop trying to be fucking Marvel characters. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I mean, actually, I was kind of enjoying this match until a few minutes away through it, Ali said the line, "Only one of us is good enough to be in AEW, huh?" And then I just X'd out. I was too angry to watch the rest of it. Just a ridiculous thing to say on a New Japan show, but go off, mate.
It is one of the worst things in pro wrestling. The idea that everyone has this demonic side to them. They're fucking, who is it? I wouldn't say Bill Bixby, but Bill Bixby played David Banner and he was the Hulk. It's so lame. It's like, it is one of the, you go through patterns in pro wrestling where it works one time and then everyone's a copy of a copy of a copy. And you see it in music too, right? Let's be very, if one band kind of takes off, you're getting 5 watered down versions of that. So I wish it would stop. I get what they're trying to like. Look, they're pro wrestlers, so they have this creative freedom to be something that, I want to be a cross between Kiss and the Great Muta. Like the reason why the Great Muta worked, one, is because at the time you didn't see that anywhere. Like, you would have to go back to like the original Tiger Mask to get a piece of what he was. And he had an aura, and he had the talent to back it up at the time. His knees weren't fucking shot. And you were seeing shit at that, as you describe it, the crispness and the speed that like no one else was doing that shit. And the gimmick was cool at the time. And it was just, it was fucking revolutionary, no doubt. It's the copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a, and now we're just, I don't like, it's like, it looks like the fucking, what is that? I can't believe, you know what? I tried to do the joke. I can't, because I forgot what it was called. What's the cloth that has the imprint of Jesus on it?
Oh, the Turin Shroud.
That's it. It's that like faint where it's like, oh, could be. I don't know. Look, again, that's pro wrestling for you.
If it was my company, I'd be standing there by the curtain, and when the wrestlers are coming out, if they came out with like a spooky mask or face paint or mist, I'd be like, no, go back, take it off.
Right. Ring announcer, there's a disturbance. Why am I doing radio voice? Why am I doing the scanner voice? I'm addicted to over. Yeah. It's
take it on like wrestling, like trying to pull the masks off.
Well, it is one of those weird things where people think whatever. Who knows? It's overdone. And please stop. Thank you.
Match 4, 2 out of 3 falls tag match. West Coast Wrecking Crew.
Yes.
Joel Nelson and Royce Isaacs, who on the Japanese website on Google Translate is translated as Lois Isaacs.
Lois
defeated the Dirty Work team of Fred Rossett and Tom Lawlor, where it says 15 minutes 33 seconds. I think that was probably just the last fall. I don't know how much the match went altogether. I think it was about 3 hours long. And look, when the tag league lineups were announced, I was thinking, well, look at this. There is no excuse why we can't have at least one of these teams fly out to Japan. Then I watched the match, and then I thought, maybe I've been too harsh on Jado and Honma and Takamichinoku. No, I'm being facetious. Like, this was a strange match to analyse because I think they're all good wrestlers, and there is a very long-term grudge there. This is from the genesis of New Japan Strong. So this is going on 4 years now, or 4 years. So the story is fine, the build is fine, and they all work really hard, and it looked and felt like a grudge match, all appropriate. I will say I hate last man standing matches. And secondly, just the crowd did not seem invested, so it fell flat. And the reason it fell flat is because, as you said, it lives in this weird liminal space where there's no overlap with anybody else on the roster, either on Strong or in Japan. And this would be landing so much harder if you'd given some, ideally all of these guys, even just one full tour in Japan. But they don't go to Japan. We know they're not going to Japan. So why do we care? It's watching a wrestling feud in a Petri dish.
It's not even like a developmental thing anymore. It doesn't even feel like there's any type of developmental, because we all know that nobody's like that was there is going over. So it's like that ship has sailed. And here's the thing too, you're going to see this match, 2 months from now in fucking, Long Beach when they run or whatever, it's like the never ending fucking feud. They only wrestle each other. You've seen it 1,000 times. I don't give a fuck what stipulation you put in at this point. Like, it's been done to death. And I don't think that there's anyone that can we be honest? Is anybody watching Strong at all? Like, do you watch Strong?
What do you mean? There is no Strong.
Right. Exactly. Like, are you like so? How are we? It's just, it's not a New Japan show. It has the logo, and you'll.
They're saying New Japan Strong's not a show. Just body after body busting out a shit. Sorry.
No, I know. But it's just right. Look, I was just disappointed nobody was eating anybody's hair. That's all.
That's it. That's all we want. We just want people eating people's hair.
That's it. That's
Give us what we want.
Yep.
Fifth match was the Strong Women's Championship #1 contender 4-way match where Hazuki defeated Anna Jay and Koguma and Trish Adora. Hazuki pinned Trish Adora after 8 minutes 57 seconds. It says here, who fucking cares what it was? This was a match. I really like Trish Adora. I'd like to see more from Trish Adora, and I'm sure Hazuki versus Mercedes Moné will be very good. But oh boy, that promo was shit. She's a terrible promo, isn't she, Mercedes Moné? I don't know why. Like the amount of practice she's had, and I remember us on this very podcast saying what a star she was and how, if done right, this could be really big for New Japan. And I'm going to quietly dial back on that one, Damon.
Really? Okay. All right. I think that she, do you really think she gave a flying fuck about working this show? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I can't hand wave the fact that, and it does feel like it was a long time ago, but I can't hand wave the fact that we sat here and we were like, she's a star. And she felt like one of the few stars on a show, especially shows of this kind. And
then Tony Khan ruined it with shit booking.
Well, it didn't help any. One, and two,
don't let her talk anymore. Again, if I'm booking and she reaches for the microphone, I'm snatching it away. No promos.
Yeah. It was again. I don't know if she's a bad promo, but that promo was not.
She is
cutting it. Yeah, maybe. All right, but that I will go so far as to say that promo was we could have done better. What did she? How many people do you think were in that building, Joe?
Well, yeah, I was going to look that up.
Give me
actually,
a head count.
Right, let's say cage match. What was the show called? Fighting Spirit Unleashed.
There you go.
I always get these shows mixed up. Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2024. Because there was a bit of controversy about this because it says 1,022 people. Didn't look like it.
Nope. It really didn't. Like I was shocked that you even hit the 1,000 mark. I was going to say like 800, 900, if that. It didn't look like it was. Again, you're going from. I don't think anybody that turned up at the arena was like, all right, this is the time and the place for us to give you A+ performance. How much do you think they're getting paid for shows like that? Like, what do you think the undercard's getting? What do you think the strong challenge competitors got? What do you think their payoff was?
Hot dog and gas money.
Maybe. I'm going to say. All right, that's
petrol for our English listeners.
That is correct. And it's wiener for New. I'm sorry.
That's a sausage in a bread roll.
Yes. I'm going to say less than 200. I'll say opening match, 800 people. I hate to say this. I hate to do this. I'm going to say $100.
Are they breaking even for this production?
Right. I don't think so. I mean, the buildings that they're running, I'm sure it's not super expensive, but yeah, I mean, you figure all the costs associated, for not for nothing, for what's in essence an independent promotion, getting 800 people is even not that bad. Yeah. I don't think. Let's put it. My point is this: I don't think Miss Monet gave a flying fuck about this show. And proof.
I'm surprised she turned up.
Me too.
They didn't advertise her, did they? They didn't say, "Oh, Mercedes Moné will show up to do something."
No, they're trying to. I mean, one, I don't want to go so far as to say it was a failed experiment, but like it certainly didn't. It could have been much more, and it just didn't happen for many reasons. But the money that they paid, I don't think. Do you think they got a return on their investment? New Japan?
No. No, I don't.
I don't think so either. All right. Very good. There you go. And I'll go so far as to say, I don't know if that's all Monet's fault. I think New Japan.
Oh, well, it was just bad. It was an unfortunate situation with her breaking her ankle, and that sort of fucked everything up. It was on a really strong trajectory, excuse the pun, not intended, up until that point. I think everything was going really well. The matches were good, fresh opponents, decent crowds, and then that derailed everything. And that's the sort of thing you can't really legislate for.
Correct. If we're being fair, that is correct. But again, it's not like New Japan did it any favors. All right, go ahead.
We had the sixth match of Yota Tsuji and Shingo Takagi defeating Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. 10 minutes, 55 seconds. Gene Blaster. Fun match.
Matt Taven.
Jack Perry. So this is all I got to say. Like all these matches, I'm like, yeah, it was all right. Jack Perry attacked Yota Tsuji afterwards. And I'll say it again. Brother. I get Tony's like sending the B team. And I'm doing the mental gymnastics and kind of excusing that. Like, I don't mind the Ricochet challenge. I think Juice Robert, and not that Juice has been announced, but Juice would be okay for David Finlay. Who else has been announced? We're getting Kenny. Yeah. Hopefully, Kenny against Gabe. Takeshita's involved. Like that's all good and fine. But Jack Perry, man, like New Japan did him a favor by giving him that New Japan Cup tour to help him reinvent himself and let a bit of that House of Torture shine rub off on him. I don't want to see him back. Right? That does nothing for me. Like, I don't think Jack Perry appearing on January 5th at the Tokyo Dome adds any value whatsoever. That's a shit match. I hate it.
I don't understand why, like, if you had a list of people on that roster from AEW and like you're going through it and trying to plan a Tokyo Dome show, and I don't know, maybe the price was right. I don't know. I don't think that was on any of my fantasy booked, Wrestle Kingdom / Wrestle Dynasty shows. That's for sure. It's great that he had that little run with House of Torture, and he got to be, play his role as the martyr and all that fucking. I don't know. It's not something that I really give a flying fuck about, and we're hoping big things for Tsuji in not only the 4th, but we had hoped the 5th, and then further down the line. Can you imagine? And I think there is a possibility of this happening, a pretty decent possibility. Do you think Yota Tsuji takes the fall here?
Oh, Christ.
Think of that.
If he does, I'm going to put my foot through the laptop and send Tony Khan the bill.
Rick from the Young One style, watching Nosing Around. Nosing around. We can vote, but we can't drink in pubs. All right. Nosing around. So great. By young adults. Sorry, I'm doing all my young ones, but no. No one cares about Jack Perry. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. 7th match. Ryohei Oiwa defeated Kenta in 9 minutes 26 seconds with a cheeky little, was it like a schoolboy or an inside cradle or something? I enjoyed this. It was a very minimalist match. All about the fundamentals, the wrist control, the mat work. I thought they got quite a lot of juice out of that. It was a nice veteran heel opponent for Oiwa to play off. A finish. Kenta is weirdly protected in Strong. I mean, what is this? Like, we can't have a decisive pin because he's the Defy champion, or he just doesn't want. He just doesn't want to do business. I don't know. I mean, he took the pin. I suppose we'll take that win. But I wanted to see him eating the grip and getting flattened by Oiwa. Instead, we got the fluke pinfall. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, this is all right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still shocked that we're. Can you imagine Defy making that phone call? Yeah, this is Defy Pro Wrestling. I understand you have our champion booked for the show. He will not lose.
He must not take the grip under any circumstances.
Yes, we protect our investment. Kenta is just... I cannot believe... I still can't believe we're going to get subjected to Kenta and Chase Owens once again. Here we are. All right, look, whatever. I think Kenta is beyond
salvation, beyond redemption. His soul is lost.
Washed is the word. Yeah,
washed and cooked. Like
like what? Like a potato? Like a
it's washed and cooked like a potato.
There you go.
Eighth match. Tomohiro Ishii, Shota Umino defeating Bad Dude Tito and Zack Sabre Jr. 30 minutes, 27 seconds. Death Rider. I like the end of it here. So we had John Moxley. I mean, the match was good, like really good match, of course.
Best match of the show.
Yeah, Bad Dude Tito is excellent. And I know it's just simply a case of money, but I really want to see him back in Japan, and everyone does because he rules. So yeah, after the match, Mox said he's sending an emissary to continue Shota's education. And Shota's response was really great. He basically told Mox to fuck off. And then the fans cheered him. And who'd have thought if you're cool and do cool things and say cool things, then people will like you and want to cheer you. Fancy that. He's a prick, Damon. Shota Umino's a prick. He's leaning into it now. Own it. The crowd respected that. Like, what a pop for... he just said, fuck you, John Moxley. That was brilliant. And there's so much promise in that line. And I know we're all worried about that main event. We're worried about the attendance. We're worried about the match quality. So I'm not going to repeat everything that I said before because I still have those worries. But I think we are starting to see Shota begin to reinvent himself before our eyes. This is the person that people want to cheer. The guy who said, fuck you, John Moxley, not the guy who's going around kissing babies and, doing rent a gimmick. And I'm just gradually, I'm starting to warm up to this Wrestle Kingdom main event. Now, this is with my Freakazoid hat on, like my not Freakazoid, that's the AEW fans, my full Shin Nihon Freak hat on. But I do think there's a little kernel of something there. Shota's looking in good shape. He's looking confident. He sounds confident. He's looking motivated. Both he and Zack, they know it's the biggest match of their careers. And I've just got a funny feeling they're going to pull it off. I think they might surprise a lot of people. Now, they should have done a better job building up Shota's credentials to this point. But
thank you.
Forget all that. We're here now. And I'm starting to get into it. It's new. It's fresh. I find it quite exciting. Like, the booking makes sense in as much as it's your best and hottest wrestler, Zack Sabre Jr., who is excellent at making other people's look good. He's against a fresh challenger. He's one of your next generation from the dojo. May not be top of the class in terms of charisma and presentation and crowd connection, but I think he's probably the most advanced in terms of his actual ring work, despite what others might say. I think his work has been unfairly maligned this year. So they have made bold choices, and I think they're the right choices. They could have easily done, Zack versus Naito or Shingo. They could have played it safe, but that doesn't do anything for the next generation who need these opportunities. Like, at some point, you've got to give these young guys the ball and say, there you go, show me what you've got. And that time is now. And in this match, I looked at Zack, I looked at Shota, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think I can see something, just little sparks of defiance, It's that glint in their eyes that says, let's show the doubters, let's show the haters. And look, even if you're not sold on Shota Umino, have some faith in Zack, right? He's too smart. He's too good at pro wrestling to let this Wrestle Kingdom match be a disappointment. Like, he knows what the assignment is. He's got to go out there and have a great match. Not a good match. It's got to be a great match. He's got to make Shota look like a star. Right? He's got to do what Will Ospreay did last year. He's got to bring that fire out of Shota because we know it's there. We've seen it. We just haven't seen it this year.
That's the problem.
Look, I could offer a few reasons why. I could offer plenty of reasons why. When I'm not, I don't know, I was going to say, when I'm not happy in my workplace, I don't necessarily do my best work.
Oh, jeez. Don't say that.
Late 2024 Shota is looking like a very different beast to early 2024 Shota. And look, I know it's a big ask. It's a big ask, but I think they can do it. Will they do it? I don't know. They can do it. And look, if they don't, there's half a dozen hungry young guys ready to pick up that ball and run with it.
I agree with a lot of your points, but I will say this. They had time, and now we are up against it. The clock is rapidly ticking. It is.
They've got ages. We've got the whole of World Tag League.
My God. That no one's going to watch.
Compare it to the build. Okay, true. But to compare it to the build last year, or lack thereof, Sonata versus Naito. They did nothing. The year before that, Jay against Okada, which was just Jay shouting at Okada that he's a coward and that the crowd are cowards for not cheering. They did nothing. So it's not a high bar to beat, but I think they've already cleared that at least.
Okay, I'll give you that. But the thing is with that is that you had two established guys. The build for the match was like non-existent, but at least you knew what you were getting. Like we have to build stars, don't we? Don't we have to make them seem like stars in the fans' eyes? And I don't know if that's the case right now. That's where I'm struggling. That's where I'm concerned that the company hasn't done near enough to make that happen, number one. And number two, like, even the opportunities that he has been given feel like, okay, I mean, it's, there are tons of excuses that get thrown around for whatever the reason. And if he's turning a corner now, which I can see it, yes, but I don't think it's near enough. And I think, again, it's a little too late situation. Could they do magical things during World Tag League and the lead up to Wrestle Kingdom? Yes, they could, and they need to, I will say. But to date, like, can you count those moments for him on like you could do it on one hand, I'm sure. Like, they're few and far between. And it's not like we're talking about a guy who is established and you know what you've got and you can bank on, like, again, say what you will about Naito, current Naito, and there might be a little nostalgia. There might be a little, okay, does he have it still in the tank? Whatever. But you know what you're getting. You know what I mean? You're getting a legitimate star. He's not a legitimate star right now. I think there's more question marks than there are definitive answers with him. And the fact that there's really not been anything to give him that until, like, that interview, maybe. But has there been much where you would say, okay, that's a defining Shota moment where he feels like a guy? I don't think, and I think that's what everyone's like, kind of like, okay, I understand why. I understand the thought process. I understand the idea that we're trying to make stars. I understand the shit or get off the pot mentality. The problem is that right now, I don't think the dude's ready. And I'm not questioning the match per se. I'm questioning the fans being content with it. And I think that's the problem. I don't think anyone is excited. I don't think there's a buzz. I don't think there's any energy going in. And again, we have a tiny bit of time. They can do it. They can pull it off. Will they? Who knows? There's contentment and there's not excitement. And you want to tell me on the second match of the night, the fourth match of the night? Okay, whatever. It's the main event for your world title. That I don't think that there's anyone going into it has the confidence in him. I don't think he has fans like energy or excitement or a buzz. And I think it's all riding.
You don't think he had it by the end of this?
I don't know.
When the Moxley stuff happened, the fans seem to really be into it.
Okay. And I think everyone can get into it. But I'm going to give you a solid, let's see. Let's see.
You're not wrong. Like, I agree with all your points. I'm just sort of playing devil's advocate, really, and presenting the theory that he's turned a bit of a corner here, that he's more comfortable with who he is after what happened at the end of Power Struggle, with him basically being like, fuck you, when he went in to help Zach, and then Zach was like, no, fuck off, I got this. And then he was just like, well, fuck you then, and hit the Death Rider on him. And then here where he's saying, fuck you, John Moxley. To me, he's looks like he's turned a bit of a corner there. He's looking a bit more confident. Did you
No.
You seeing any of that, or am I just...
Joel, he said, fuck you in front of 800 people. You know what I mean? We're getting excited about fuck you over to 800 people.
Yeah, I was.
All right. Listen, I like the fact. Hey, listen, if you can find that part to get you fired up for this match, go for it, whatever it may be. I'm not there yet. They got a lot of work to go.
Fair. That is fair. Right. We then had the ninth match, which was AEW International Championship match. Konosuke Takeshita defeating spooky TJ Perkins, 14 minutes, 13 seconds. Falcon Arrow. Yeah, Damon, thoughts on this one?
I mean, leave the makeup at home. That's leave the cosplay at home. I like TJP. I think there's a world of talent there. Do you think this was the best match of the show?
No,
me neither.
It probably should have been, because TJP was so good in that the junior tag match.
Yep.
Maybe he's just better as a tag wrestler, but this was to go out and have a pretty forgettable match with Konosuke Takeshita probably says more about him than it does about Takeshita.
I once again, seriously, if you said, okay, let me put this match and we'll put it at fucking Copper Box, or we'll put it at wherever, and you got a hot, ravenous crowd, I honestly think that they left a lot, in a tank. They're in front of fucking 800 people of that. That was really the common denominator in all this. Like, these guys are not going to go out there and kill themselves for that. I'm sorry. They're just, and I can't blame them. On paper, that really does have the potential of being a pretty special match. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they mailed anything in, but I don't know. I'm going to blame the environment. And again, I'm not blaming the fans. I'm sure the fans were the fans. You know what I mean? It's not like they shit on anything, and it's not like it was just nobody's. On paper, that could have been a much better match, and I think they left stuff in the tank, and I can't blame them that they did.
We did have some developments after the match where he issued a challenge an open challenge for his title, and then Shingo came out, so they're having a title versus title match on January 4th. So great match for your work rate perverts.
Yep.
And Ishii is going to face the winner on January 5th. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what he has done to deserve this opportunity, but again,
because he was on the roster in 2017. That's why.
Yeah. Yes, you nailed it.
You know what I mean? That's exactly why. Because when there were fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling that gravitated now to AEW Tomohiro Ishii was a guy that they could point to and be like, that guy's fucking great. Well, okay, he is, no doubt about it, but that's why he's doing that.
I like Takeshita versus Shingo for January 4th. That's a pretty sick match. I'm into that.
Yeah, I mean that sounds on paper fantastic in the dome. I can't imagine that not being. I can't imagine that not being anything less than great. I really can't. I think if they had their working shoes on and they're in front of a hot crowd, a noisy Tokyo Dome, I think they'll be fired up, and I think it'll be great. And it's a singles match too, pretty great.
And the main event was Gabe Kidd defending his strong openweight championship against Kosei Fujita, 18 minutes 40 seconds after the Madman Bomb and about 17 other finishing moves. He gave Fujita a lot here, and I know Fujita is like future junior ace, possibly even heavyweight. I'm wondering at this point, with all the opportunities he's getting, if he might be accelerated through the weight classes.
I think so.
He kicked out of a lot. Kicked out of a lot of stuff here. I don't know. What did you think of the match?
Second favorite. I thought. Well, one. Let's just. I am a firm believer that his time as a junior will be short. I can't imagine them missing that opportunity there. So, second, and trust me, if you listen to the show for any length of time, you know that we are they're probably two of our more favorite New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers. Weird main event. Don't you think? Don't you think that's just as a main event in general? Was that weird to you? That being the main event? Yeah, me too.
There seems to be a bit of a weird pivot with these Western shows of doing sort of bizarre, not bizarre, but
juniors versus heavies,
open weight matches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's, again, it was my second favorite match. The bar wasn't that high, let's be honest. But my second favorite match. I like both the guys. And I guess the positive coming out of it is this. You have two studs. And at the end of the day, I don't know, I just felt more excited for both guys than just about any others on the roster. And I just keep going back to the idea of, what a start for 2025 for Gabe Kidd. He has, think of this. If he does, if they do win Tag League and all that stuff, and there is that possibility of him and Henare being in the same ring in the Dome, so shit's going to fucking go down. And then...
I'm gaping right, Henare, I've got that big match with Kenny tomorrow. Let's just take it easy. Yeah, no worries, bro.
Right. Again, it's professional wrestling. They, there is a certain amount of trust involved and all, but maybe they lay it in a little bit harder than they normally would. Anywho, he's got it set up, man. I don't know. I don't think you can ask for a better start to a year. He's got the world by the balls right now, which is, I'm sure he's excited. Because here's the thing too. Sorry, I got a little cough today. There is a feeling. And maybe you've experienced it. Maybe it's, and maybe the equivalent I can give you is you got the job that you wanted. And, it's that period between you wrapping up your old job and you getting ready for the new one, right? And you're excited and you have all these ideas and the prospects and the possibilities are, going through. That's what he's doing right now. He's just kind of mapping that out in his head, I'm sure. Pro wrestlers are like that. If they have alone time, like a lot of them just think of wrestling type scenarios. Oh, what if I did this? What if I did this? This would be a good promo. Blah blah blah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like right now doing that in his head. Like, okay, if this is the roadmap, here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I'm thinking I'm doing. Blah 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 blah. It's got to be exciting for him. I'm excited for him because all the talking and all the what have you leading up to Wrestle Kingdom. You could work as hard as you feel you need to, and it still not work out, right? He worked as hard as he could, and now it is. So that's you got to feel good for the dude. You got to feel real good for the dude, and he's setting himself up for a solid 2025. This might be the year of GK. That stands for Gabe Kidd, everyone.
And we were there first.
That is correct. We always are. It's not. I mean, come on. We always are.
Yeah. I'll take the wins where I find them. Then we had a challenge from Oiwa, who Jay Michaels said Oiwa spends every show behind the curtain, just the entire time, just crouched, poised, ready to run in and challenge a champion. He sees other people going, no, I was there first.
I know it is just a matter of being. I wonder if there's like, all right, let's get a camera back there, and you just have like a bunch of guys, like it's like they're at a starting line. They're like, all right, we're gonna run, and then a starter's pistol goes off, and they start brawling, and whoever makes it out of the curtain is the person who challenges. That would make more fucking sense, to be quite honest with you. But
I can't believe no one's done that as a gimmick match before, like the backstage post main event challenge. Like hardcore scramble match or something.
Right, we have the KOP. Why not incorporate that in there, right? By the way, we do have the KOP right around the corner. KOPW, should I say? Right around the corner. Do you think are they going to do that again? Do you think they're or is it just going to be conveniently forgotten, like they do with a lot of their titles? They just forget they have
it. Damon, I cannot believe you are showing the disrespect to the upcoming historic X Over 2, where the KOPW will be defended, Great Khan, defending against Suzuki in a hardcore rule match.
My bad. That missed my radar. But this is it, though. He'll leave as the defending champion and then turn in the title. And so stupid. You know who we got to blame for this? You bitch.
Yeah.
You bitch.
This mess for other people to clean up.
Unbelievable. He really did. He is the king of that. Leaving the mess for others to clean up. That is a great gimmick. Way to go, KO.
Right, while we're on the topic, while you've mentioned it, I've got a question. It's about someone else, but I'm going to sort of transition that to a general point here. So Daryl says, do we see Will, as in Will Ospreay, paying a visit this January? If so, what could he be doing? If not, why not too soon? I get the feeling that there will be other names, but maybe they're just sort of leaving it closer to the time because they're worried about people getting hurt. But do you think, just hypothetically speaking, David, that there is value in potentially getting guys like Okada, Ospreay, Jay White to come over, even if they're booked to win, like to pair them off with some of the new generation and give them competitive matches? Like, I don't know, just like I'm pulling names off the top of my head, like do Okada versus Oiwa, Ospreay versus Fujita, Jay White again. I know he's injured, but someone like Yuya, of just sort of doing it as a thought exercise. Do you think there will be value in having those guys and having those matches, even though the New Japan guys would lose?
Yeah, and it's called the house, right? Like like you're doing that because you want to pump up your gate. And that's the only reason, because it's not like half of the people that you mentioned are going to be lying down for anybody, right? So that instant gratification of, wow, we had a nice house, is that sustainable for your future? Like, are you willing to do that for the house, the gate that you're going to get, for a return of New Japan, legendary figures, to pop a house? So would they do that? You know, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I hope they don't. I hope they don't. But, you know, if come mid-December, right, and they're looking at ticket sales and they're looking at whatever, and they're like, we need a shot in the arm here. I'll say that anything's on the table, but as of right now, I don't think they would do that.
I was just sort of thinking in terms of the politics of who's winning on January 5th. I suppose I could see Takeshita beating Shingo, taking the Never title, and then beating Ishii. So Takeshita wins. See Kenny Omega beating Gabe. But then all the other stuff that's been announced so far, I would imagine the New Japan guy wins, like Zack beating Ricochet, Tsuji beating Jack Perry, right. Finlay beating whoever it is that challenges him. But yeah, it's just an interesting one to think about. What I don't want is Okada doing like what he did to Kiyomiya against one of the New Japan guys.
Right, exactly. And I'm again, there's no indicator that we've ever had that Okada would go into business for himself and fucking ruin a show. Like, do you really think so? I don't think he would do that. No. But that being said, that doesn't that doesn't mean that he's Mr. I'll lie down to anybody whatever. That ain't happening. We've seen that. Will, I think on the other hand, it would be open to it, but I don't know if the company would be truthful. I think there's
that Okada's lied down for are either in AEW or Sanada.
Right. I don't think he's lying down to anybody. To be very truthful, So if he's not going to do that, and he's like you're not going to have the guy come back to the Tokyo Dome in his first match back in a fucking tag match. That would be just silly. That being said, I don't want him in a singles match because I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze because you're doing it just to line your pockets a little bit now, but it's probably not the best thing for the future. So I'm going to give you a no, thank you.
So overall thoughts on this? What was it? Strong Style Evolve, Fighting Spirit Unleashed, whatever the fuck we watched. Because Matt writes in and says, New Japan used to have a successful strategy of piggybacking bigger American shows to boost revenue and market penetration. After the lackluster foreign attendances at Royal Quest and Fighting Spirit Unleashed, is it time to start thinking like an indie again? And also a question from Factory Direct Marine and RV says, are the USA shows worth trying to save right now, or do they just need to take time off to rebuild demand for the product? Soft houses and quiet crowds in the US aren't representative of how positively the product is growing this year. It was weird because it started off on a very different trajectory where it seemed like the blueprint was doing 4 big shows that you can build up properly and lean heavy on your partner promotions and use big stars and get good gates. But then now they've gone back to just sort of borderline indie stuff where it looks and sounds bad.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for them to pause and really consider what they want to accomplish. It's like these shows are not major pro wrestling shows in the United States. They're just not. And like, if you wanted to sit here and tell me that this was a developmental thing for New Japan, and to a small degree, I think that's still there. Like it is a showcase for some talent that maybe they have their eye on to kind of perform in a New Japan ring, and I put that in air quotes. It just feels like a totally different, separate thing from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like it just, and I say that saying it's just not a good look. Like, I don't think these shows do anyone any favors. It's not drawing in any new audience. It's not something that people are going to go out of their way to watch. Look, if you're a pro wrestling fan, you might tune in. if you're a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan, you probably already have a stronger feeling about it, and it's it's a show. I don't know. To me, it's just and I don't mean disrespect. I really don't. But it's a glorified indie show. That's what it feels like. And they shoehorn in people to get work. Yeah, like it just has all the makings. I mean, it has all the makings of an indie show minus Dennis Carluzzo at this point. It's just like, I don't know. I keep waiting for fucking Gino Moore to walk through the fucking curtain. Nobody's going to get that reference, but hopefully you 80s and 90s Northeast indie pro wrestling fans get the reference. Metal Maniac comes out. It just, I don't know. I don't think it. Do you think? Oh, see, I'm going to say it. I think it makes New Japan look Bush League.
Was that a question? Because I agree. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
I'm with you. All right. It's Bush League. I would give on a scale of 1 to 10 the show a 4, along with 4 on the World Tag League announcements. We're 4 across. We're the 4 horsemen of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Hi, I'm Andrew Rich, and if you're like me, you look at the state of modern wrestling discourse and think, wow, what a cesspool. That's why I'm here to tell you about Music of the Mat Remix. That's right, your favorite wrestling music podcast is back with a new format, where I bring on a guest and we play songs related to wrestling-themed topics. It could be a wrestling reference, a wrestling concept, a wrestling pun, things of that nature. Now you might be saying, Andrew, that is a very, very tenuous connection to pro wrestling on a wrestling podcast network. Is this just an excuse to hang out with your friends and talk about music and ignore the rest of the wrestling landscape? Yes. Yes, it is. So listen to Music of the Mat Remix on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network, available on Apple, Spotify, or your podcast player of choice.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.